Well, I mean, corrode is not that bad. If you didn't have RF, it's really not really all that bad. And if you find it like troublesome, you can wear our core to reduce the time it happens. I mean, maybe you just can find another source of. You say basically no. Not sure what you mean by that. Like maybe a ring of fire and you already have RC. It's better to go without RC than to go without RF, I would say that much, for that late in the game. Oh, our core is definitely enough in slime pits. I only wear our core mostly for reducing the acid damage you take. Although the corrosion reduction is nice too, but mostly it's to take less damage from acid blobs, and from the royal jelly if you're in melee with the royal jelly, which is often how I kill it. Like for that gargoyle, that's definitely how I would kill it. But yeah, it reduces acid damage in addition to reducing the frequency of corrosion. I mean, it's helpful. Definitely, I would not say it's required. It's easy just to duck out of Los and kill them quickly. They're not really a problem for me. They're kind of like a thing that you always have to immediately deal with in some way, but they're not. I wouldn't say they're really that difficult. Something like a spark wasp is scarier, I would say, by far. I mean, you definitely need to watch out for them, but for entropy weavers, but it's not something like a moth of wrath that it gets near any of the spiders, or spark wasp. I would say torpor snails, that they can complicate things in a bad way too. It's kind of similar to what entropy weavers do, but they're probably somewhat similar, more similar to entropy weavers. They're not really too bad because they can't really chase you down. Once you break Los like once and are not slowed, you can outrun them because they're slow. So you can generally get away from them. But a Moth of Wrath that manages to berserk some stuff, and then now all those things are fast and they have way more HP and way more damage, and are more, well, no, they're not more accurate. They just do more damage and are fast and have more HP. But that's scary. And then Spark Wasp can just basically like blink, blink next to you and damaging you a ton, and they have pretty nasty melee. If you have Aralek, it does help, but often it's kind of nasty damage even then. But thankfully they usually only show up as one, and they don't have particularly good MRs, so you can quite often do something about it. It's just, in terms of something that can kill you very quickly, they're a good example, and I would say Moths of Wrath are a pretty good example. Ghost moths are like this complicated thing that dealing with can be a hassle, but they kind of fall more into like the torpor snail, entropy weaver category. They're just like a complication factor. But again, I play pretty carefully, and the more proactive you are, the earlier in a fight, the better time you're going to have in this game. So when you see one, you just have to start. When you see an entropy weaver, you just have to start planning for it immediately. Well, I mean, if you can escape, well, you can escape when getting corroded too. And I would not say that getting AC reduced. When I say berserk monsters, they will chase you and hit you really, really hard, and sometimes multiple of them at once. Now, if you're corroded, it is true that like the hits that you take are worse, but it sounds like what's happening is you're probably getting like 8 and 12 corrosion, and that basically just means you kind of let it happen for too long. I'm not saying that they're like trivial monsters, but I have 0 deaths to entropy weavers, or in any situation that was really caused by one. But I think I have some deaths to berserk monsters. They can double hit you because, again, they're fast, 50% faster. Not just fast, but 50% faster. And they have a huge damage increase. They're much harder to kill because they have a huge HP increase. And yeah, you can definitely escape, but yeah, you can escape when you're corroded as well. Other things that help are remembering to use wands evokers. Most of the stuff in Spider does not have good MR. Some things certainly do, but a lot of it doesn't. Okay, so skilling. What are we going to get back to? Fighting. Yeah, well, I mean, it takes a while for that to happen, and they are a lot weaker when it does happen because they're slowed, which is great for you. I mean, if you've managed to get to the point where it's slowed, you're probably safe. If you're doing like an extended fight, I've definitely been in fights where things have gotten berserk and I'm fighting them and keeping them at bay, and yeah, they slow down, and it's great. But it is true that if the Moth of Wrath is still there, they will resurk eventually. But I'm usually prioritizing killing it some way. Like I'm using Acid Wand shots and Flame Clouds, and if I manage to have something smite targeted, I'm definitely using that. I don't want that Moth to live, because he's making every monster potentially. You could say it's like 50% worse, but honestly it's like 2 or 3 times worse. Just really awful. That's why fights in Zot can get very complicated very fast. So what was I going to train? 14 Evo. Fighting is 21 cost. Look at that cost comparison. It's ridiculous. Berserk Silver Dragons. Yeah, those are fun. At least they don't Dispel Breath you anymore. Consolation prize, because that Dispel Breath, man, it's annoying. Alright. Being a little bit... No, when berserked, they don't dispel. Interesting. Oh, my pack is full. That is weird. Yeah, that is a thing about shadow creatures that is kind of annoying in Zot. I mean, it's still good there, it's just... Jeez, the enchant armor. We shouldn't complain, but... Yeah, I have to figure out what I want to do there, because... This looks like maybe some kind of fun vault. Good time to use some of these evokers. Do I have sticky? I still have sticky, right? Oh no, I don't have sticky. That's unfair. It's outrageous. It's not fair. Where am I going? Nothing but corridors. What a pain. If I can file this guy. Hey, it sort of worked. Down he goes. Yep, don't forget those evokers sometimes when you get in little situations like that. It could be a nice way to clean up a fight. Is this some kind of vault, or is this just... Yeah, they don't berserk you, they berserk hostiles. That's the part that sucks. And I don't think they do it through the passive field. I think they do that when they attack, because they have AF Berserk. I think that's how it works. I'd have to check. I'm Tengu. I too am a Tengu. Basically a Tengu, just like you. Pretty much exactly a Tengu. Ooh. Damn, all the enchant scrolls. Oh, this is the 15th level. Longblades. Longblade would be the best bet. It would be nice to get one, but is there a scimitar? There's a scimitar of flaming. I don't really want to train it right now. Yeah, we'll drop that. We'll drop that. Darup saw me. %16 paralyzed, that would be very bad. If he landed that. Good candidate for softening him up with some Phantom. I just don't really want to give him a shot of paralyzing me, because if he does, well, we have enough distance where we can try one. Problem is that that thing is not really going to distract him for long, and he's going to go berserk. Rupert looks excited. What else we got on this level? Okay, so there's the vault over there. Oh, did I piss that off? Alright. Well, that pretty much seals the deal, don't it? I was wanting to avoid that, but I guess it closed in, so I should have accounted for that when I set up the prism. I just wanted to block him. Oh well, nice teleport. Problem is, he's roaming around on the level now. So we could try hijinks like Dazzling Spray. That might work. Yeah, well, I mean, it moves. It can be difficult to, like, foretell when it's going to do what. That's somewhat difficult to predict. I just wanted to get up something to block, but honestly, if I had more MR, I would be a little bit more thrilled about testing it, but I don't like 1 in 6 chance of getting paralyzed. 1 in 6 times whatever the chances of him using it, but he'll use it at least a few times. And I mean, once he berserks, he's gonna chase me down. I have one haste pot, but I don't particularly want to just waste it just so I can kill Rupert, who is not any kind of interesting thing to me. Well, how are we with, do we have flight? Alright. We can try swamp. There goes the swamp worm. Oh, look at this. Oh, our poison. This is not a thing I thought of. Yeah. That's a pain. More poison in the game. Anywhere else? Oh, really? I mean, we're not going to find any. We basically cleared dungeon. Trying our luck in elf is just a bad idea. So it just sort of complicates. Hello, my friend. I recognize you. Maybe I'll take a look at what the loot is and see, but I do not have the best character for taking on this vault. The swamp. I'm gonna have to watch out for those swamp worms. Don't want to get yoinked. Kind of wish I had Animate Dead castable. I might, I mean, I can use, yeah, well, I can use at least a Bolt of Drain through it. Would be some nice insurance. What could I unlearn? Oh, the Conjure Flame. Don't really want to unlearn that. Searing Ray I could pretty much do without at this point. Meph is... So how many... I need 3. Guzzling Spray is a pretty decent spell. I just have not been using it at all. It's kind of like a Meph that's better in some ways. Do you have it, don't I? Yeah. BVC as well. Handy spell for this guy who can maybe lock something in place and just zap it. But I'd have to train a lot more skills to really get that. So I might just go for some Animate Dead. Let's finish this level though. Since I don't have the scroll on me, I can't Yep, that's what the acronym stands for. Put on the burst of speed. Is that what you're doing? that descent wand. That could be handy. We'll train this up a bit and get those levels for Animate Dead. Yeah, it's kind of better if we save Amnesia for... Although I don't think... I think the next gift is going to be the capstone one. The sinking feeling, though, that I may not get Firestorm. I don't know what my chances are with my... Let's see what we got. Some staves that I don't really need. Then the artifact amulets. I mean, I'm not... The one I have is not amazing. It is at least convenient. If one of these had our poison, or if one of these staves were our poison, that would actually be useful. The problem is just that it's... My strategy that I like for this vault is to kind of blink into the side corridors from... you actually walk to this position, and like over here, I forget exactly. Oh, from here. This position. From this position, you can walk forward. If you step here, you'll break into their los, but you can step. You can step over to here, and from here, blink right into the side corridor, and then you can like shout and potentially read fog as well and just blast stuff. The problem is that, I mean, I have potions of magic. I don't really have any defensive potions. I could quaff Lig if I wanted to, just if something gets too close. Come back when you have yeah, I just really would I would love if I could get our poison. That would make my life a little bit more as a swap. If you get stuck in poison clouds, it's really convenient. And if I feel like I can do it safely, I'm not. Oh, but this jade ring, this could be it. No, I won't actually find it on the next floor because it's sitting in a shop for 2,700 gold. Randart staves because they wouldn't really make any sense. I mean, there's not... The only thing you could vary... They would just be like stat sticks because they can be used for melee, but they don't have any melee properties. Yep. It's way ahead of you. I already generated. I already went out of my way to make Staff of Olberg. And on the next floor, I'll get Acquire Scroll and I can buy it. So as you can kind of tell, for a character like this, it's a game of don't let things gang up on you and melee you, kill them at range. I know there's going to be some fun stuff in those little huts. My EV is good enough so that I can, you know, often avoid taking damage, but yep, if I think the water entry does give you a list, but basically they fumble their attacks and they also have slow movement, but I feel it's the same thing. It's like large size monsters don't get the attack penalty, I want to say. I don't know how that works for them exactly. Or I forget. I always forget. Oh, that's what's in there. I just opened it anyway. I was like, it could be scary, and then I just auto-explored right into it. Guess it wasn't that scary after all. Two levels. So hydras, they are amphibious. They move fast in water. So once starts stepping into water, they can gain a surprising amount of distance on you. Nothing exciting. There's a spell library. That's a nice convenience. Not a ton of new content. Dith lost his fire conduct. Swamp worms now have this harpoon attack. So do iron giants. Oh, right. That's right. I need... Which one do I need? Really? Is it not this one? Guess it's not. I guess I need... Well, did it anyhow. This is actually not how you're supposed to do it. What you need is this one. I forgot which tile you need for this to work. And by the way, there's another strat that you can do. I need to be careful to select the right tile here. Okay, good. Well, I mean, I'm gonna not wake them up. So, don't worry about it, Reels. You just gotta eat. Yeah, so actually what I was going to say is what the tile you want is this one, but in this case they were both Zot trapped, so I had to risk it by waking them up. You can't just blink. If you get really unlucky, they might get to move quickly and step on a trap possibly, but they're not really. It's not really going to happen. But yeah, if this tile is free, you can actually move forward to here. If you move here, you break into Los, so don't do that. And then move up here, and then blink, just like you saw me do. This tile will be visible. And so yeah, they're all sitting there unwoken up. I did see an alligator. I might do Lig. I'll probably just take it one at a time and use Magic Pot. Actually, what I might do... Wish I had an Agilpon. Maybe I'll do a Fulminant Prism. Oh, I got one of them. Oh, I'm targeting the wrong thing. Can I enslave you? Nice. There we go. So that was not too carefully done, but that's one way to do it. You can see I wasn't too like intelligent like the alligators. I probably, given what this character is, it's not great to like sit there and test a bunch of alligator melee. And my battle sphere didn't help. What I probably should have done was, well, for this battle sphere is kind of like, if you know which way they're coming from, which I guess I did, I could have stayed like this and I would have gotten some extra damage in. That would have been smart. That's something I just didn't consider. The prism was kind of nice though. I think I killed something. I don't know what I killed. It was probably pretty weak.